Welcome to Cathedral. I'm Father Greg Zakowicz. First of all, again, thank you to Mark Teresi and David Jonas providing beautiful music year-round, including the start of the Advent season. Special thanks again to Lori Doyle, pulls a whole video package together. So Lori, fantastic job for all you do. Thank you, thank you. Believe it or not, we've started the first Sunday of Advent. It's hard to believe December has started. So has the Advent season. I hope you had a very blessed and happy Thanksgiving this past weekend, last couple of days ago. I'll begin this way. A letter written in childish scrawl came to the post office addressed to God. The postal employee, not knowing exactly what to do with the letter, opened it and read the letter. It said, "Dear God, my name is Jimmy. I'm 6 years old. My father's out of work. My mother's having a hard time raising me and my sister. Would you please send us $500? The postal employee was touched and showed the letter to his fellow workers, who were able to raise $300 and send it back to the boy and the family. About 2 weeks later, they received a second letter addressed to God. The postal employee opened it up. The boy thanked God, but ended with this request. Dear God, please, next time, would you please deliver the money directly to our home? If you send it through the post office, they deduct $200. The little boy didn't quite understand the real reason. Do we understand the real reason and meaning and purpose of this Advent season? Today we begin our Advent season. The word Advent means coming. Advent is a time of preparation, waiting, a time of healing, a time of hearing, listening, hope and renewal, a time of prayer, a time to stop procrastinating. Waiting and hoping does not mean doing nothing. It means reflecting, staying awake, and being watchful. Today's gospel proclaims, there will be signs. Be on guard. Pray constantly. Be on guard. Pray constantly. For what? Maybe awake and watchful against letting our life slip away without doing those things and being the person which reflects Christ's presence in our world through us. Advent's real meaning and purpose. Despite our busyness, the next 4 weeks, Advent puts speed bumps along our December path for a reason. I'll say it again. All of us this time of year as we hit December are incredibly busy. And these next 4 weeks of the Advent season, Advent puts speed bumps along our December path for a reason. Why? Because Advent is also about listening and not about just doing. We need to make sure we don't miss the whole point of the Advent Christmas seasons. How many things are we missing as we rush through life? We have started our Advent season. What does this Advent season mean to us? What could it mean? Is it strictly a time of more pressure, stress, and running around? Maybe this Advent season could mean something more. Take time these next 4 weeks, despite the busyness of our lives, to listen. Experience the presence of God through a friend, a smile, children laughing, falling snow, but not too much falling snow, a bird at a feeder. Advent can be a wonderful time to create great new memories. Despite the brutality of our world, filled with racism and prejudice, gang violence, gun violence, and too much stress, way too much stress in our lives. These 4 weeks before Christmas challenges us to stop and pay attention to the preciousness and fragileness of time and of life. Advent teaches us not to master time, but to embrace the flow of God's time and to realize that time is not an obstacle to be mastered, but a gift to be cherished. I'll say it again. Advent teaches us not to master time, but to embrace the flow of God's time, to realize that time is not an obstacle to be mastered, but a gift to be cherished. Not long ago, a friend wrote me and started this way. There's been so much, let's take it back. He said this, there hasn't been much downtime. I kept thinking it was going to slow down eventually, but I think it's not. You know, the word down jumped out at me. Slowing down, craving downtime. So much of our daily grind is about being up. We wake up, stand up, show up, speak up, hurry up, tune up, follow up, clean up, 7 up, check up, cheer up, change it up. Maybe we all just need a little more down and down time. This month's readings urge us to step back from the anxieties of daily life, to be vigilant at all times, because workaholics will miss the Lord's coming. I remember a very cold and bitter November day in 1989. It was November 4th, 1989, to be exact. I blew out my left knee playing tackle football. No pads or gears. I'm 36 years old at that time, against college freshmen. Probably not a real smart idea. The entire advent of 1989 was spent on crutches before knee surgery on December 1. I was not a happy camper. The experience, however, taught me 2 lessons about myself. It's hard to be dependent. For me, it's hard to be dependent. My mother and others having to do things for me I would normally do on my own. My fierce need to be independent was shattered, and I became more grateful and accepting of others to do for me. By the way, that says about being dependent as I get older has become more evident in my life. As I've been on a walker for about 3.5 months, Lori and many others have helped me so much. I've learned to be dependent and to say to let it go, and life will go on. Second, during physical therapy back in 1989, I was told I was doing very well repairing my damaged left knee. But the physical therapist says, you know, Greg, it's still going to take several more months before your knee regains full strength and range of motion. It struck me that indeed there are some things I just cannot control in life, and many things I just have to wait for. Not a bad thought as we begin our Advent season. And by the way, down is okay. Now make an exception. Listen up this Advent season. May God bless all of you. Go Bears. I take it back. They would have played a few days ago, we're taping this early, on Thanksgiving against the Detroit Lions. Not good. And the Eagles play somebody. Thank you for listening. God bless. Advent blessings and joy. Amen.